All right, everybody, let's play some chess. So welcome in. My name is Joe. I've been leading off with this Queen's Pawn. It's just a style that I like to play. Leads into what's called the Queen's Gambit. I am allowing my opponent to capture for free if they wanted. I'm gambiting that pawn. My opponent chooses not to capture, where the Queen's Gambit declined. This is a line that I've played many games. I've lost track of how many. It's just something that fits my style, and I've played enough of it now that I'm starting to recognize patterns. That's a good thing. So I like this exchange variation. Been playing that a lot more lately, where I go ahead and grab the pawn. Not what I wanted. That's all right. I think I can still develop this way. I was hoping my opponent would capture with the pawn, but that's all right. Yeah, and so now there's a double attack here. I only have one defender, so I have to add a second defender. The reason I like the exchange variation where I capture the pawn, instead of waiting for black to capture and then use my long-range white light square bishop to grab back, I'm going to try to fianchetto my light square bishop. Fianchetto is just a term that means basically you move the bishop up a rank. The idea being that with the bishop here, after I castle, it gives me a nice defensive structure, and then this long-range bishop becomes even more long-range. Okay, there's an attack here. I have it defended here. Could grab now. Now, I'd like to... I think I'm going to continue with my plan. We'll see how it goes. You never know. Now I'm ready to castle. My opponent's also ready to castle. This is one of those things that playing the same opening over and over again will allow you to recognize patterns. This double attack with this knight can jump to here or here, like we saw it, and then from here it has influence over these dark squares where the bishop is lined up on. So that double attack is something to keep in mind. Now we can castle. Now there's no more pin, so now these pieces are free to move. I lost the pawn there because I spent too much time talking and not enough time paying attention. My queen is usually helping to defend that, and my queen is not available to do that anymore. No. I was thinking if I could get a knight ready to jump in here with a check, pick up the rook, then I could grab, my opponent grabs back, and I have this nice fork here at the end. But that's not going to work. So this knight is just going to run away somewhere. Ah. No. I was thinking I had another tactic where I could slide the queen up, put the king in check, and then sneak over and grab the bishop at the end of that line. But it doesn't work because queen up, in check, the knight jumps back to defend and is defending the bishop at the same time. That doesn't work. But there might be if I get my long-range bishop into play. Let's see how that goes. Now this long-range bishop and my knight are both eyeing up that square. So, oops. So if I put a check in now I've got something when that knight drops back. I'm assuming my opponent's going to castle and then throw my plans out the window, but that's okay. That's what we do. We just see what happens. So I think my opponent's going to castle. I'm planning on that. My opponent could bring their queen out. Not there, they couldn't. They could bring the queen out. Notice, when we talk about undefended pieces right now, my knight is undefended. My opponent castles, then my attack is stalled, and I need to defend this knight somehow. Actually, I can grab. My opponent needs to do something with their queen. Now I grab with check. I am giving up my light square bishop, which is a really strong piece. It's a very strong piece. But unfortunately, I mean, but this trade is too good not to give up. So in this structure that I have, this long range bishop is considerably strong, and so it's nice to have around. Without it around, I'm gonna have to watch out. So notice how this queen now slices this lovely diagonal. I'm gonna have to do something about that. There is no two ways about it. This knight could jump into the game. This bishop could get free. So there's a lot of concerns I have right now at this very second, and I don't know what to do about it. Don't know what to do about it. Start here. If this gets traded off, this allows me to jump up. See, now this is on this long range diagonal. My opponent's looking for something. So I need to... This is where I wish I had that long range, that light square bishop now. That light square bishop was doing work. Hate that. Boy, do I hate that. He's got 1, 2, 3 attackers on that particular square. We have to start thinking about squares and not pieces. Because that square, I only have 1 defender of it. My opponent has 3 attackers. So that would be a wasted move. This could work, but it opens up this. My opponent's going to drop their bishop here. Not a whole lot I can do right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and... There's the possibility of checkmate in 2 here. So the bishop comes here. I can't capture the bishop because it's defended by the queen. And then the queen comes and parks her butt right here. So I have to block it. I don't want to. This is an ugly pushing this f6. I hate it, but I have to. At least this is defended twice now. Probably going to have to rotate my knight back around to give me defense in front of my king. My king's position is a little whacked right now. So that trade was good for me, but it exposed me to this huge open diagonal. And I don't know, that's a risk. What is that move for? Pushing the h-pawn, it is defended. This way I can stick my knight all the way up here. And this gives me a little bit of breathing room with some of my other pieces. Notably, if this bishop ever gets off of defense of this square, this would be I could get my knight here with a lovely fork. It's not going to happen anytime soon, but at least we've got that squared away. Trying to get rid of this light square bishop. It is my nemesis right now. This knight now gives extra protection to the f3 pawn, which is good for me. If the queen moves, then this becomes a target. I'm up in material, but I've got to find a way to trade some of it down. I've got to find a way to start removing pieces off the board and clearing things up, getting the picture a little bit clearer, because right now it is not clear. This bishop needs to move somewhere, and I'm not sure where. I would welcome this exchange. If not, I could get this in. Could get something like this in. I'm just trying to visualize where this knight should end up being. Like it. Don't like it. All right, let's go back here to the corner. This is not the world's greatest square for this knight. Notice how two of the squares that I would like to be, right, that this knight could do, two of the squares that are off the board. Oh, you can't see my mouse. As my bishop's no longer on that diagonal defending that pawn, so I just allowed the fork. All right, let me think this through. I'm assuming my opponent's going to grab here, which gives me access to this pawn with check. Maybe I can do something then. Maybe we can get into this game. Oh, that comes with check. Oh, I didn't see that. Dadgummit, that comes with check. Now all he has to do is push the pawn, and that becomes defended. Yep. So me grabbing that material early in the game, giving up my light square bishop for that rook, turned out to be a bad move. And sometimes getting up in material puts you down in the game. And in this case, that was the case. Yeah, so. All right. I don't know, friends. I do not know. I just don't have anything at this point in time. I don't know what to do. I'm not coordinated. I have no more attack. My dark square bishop is completely blunted. My opponent's 2 bishops are just wide open down here. Notice he can capture here for free. Yeah. This game has fallen completely apart on me. I don't even have a check. He's going to grab. I get a check here. Then I can get a check here. I don't think it's enough. Because this queen on this long diagonal means that my opponent is probably going to ignore this. And probably, well, no, it's not checkmate. That was a good maneuver by my opponent. I don't know, guys. I think this one might be lost. When you win the opening and lose the rest of the game, he just grabbed a free pawn. I don't even have this check. I have this one at least. I don't think it's going to get me anywhere. Even if my opponent moves here. Got the rook up, I guess. There is a threat now. Like, there's a serious threat of checkmate. No, I can't even do that because the bishop covers it. Just don't have anything. I just don't have anything. I've got nothing. Oh, I just gave up the rook. Ah, resign. Resign. That was a mistake. So, you know what? That's how it goes sometimes. Yeah, let's take a look at this from the analysis standpoint. This is a very standard opening. Grabbing with the knight. Should I have grabbed? I probably should have grabbed the knight. See what the engine says. Nope, the engine doesn't care. Engine says don't worry about it. Okay. So I continue developing like normal. Double attack, just double defend, which we did. This is all good and fine. Fine and good. No problems. Allowing my opponent to grab, but let's see what the advantage is. Yeah, almost a 2-point advantage, 1.5 point advantage. Yeah, the engine says I have a clear winning advantage here, and somehow I was unable to capitalize. I was somehow unable to capitalize. Knight b5, an undefended piece. Why? Because we trade undefended pieces. Got it. What about this? Ah, because then there's the fork. Okay. I have to remember these things, guys. I have to try to remember these things. Because it just got... Yeah, there goes... Still says I have a massive advantage. Yeah, I just didn't... I didn't see that this comes with the fork. So my opponent has to capture, giving me the capture in return. See, if I do something weird like this, my opponent could just do this, right? Guess not. All right, I guess not. I guess I was worried about that checkmate for nothing. And that's where, I mean, the game just started falling apart for me because I was so worried about a phantom checkmate that didn't exist. Yeah, and I've given back all of my advantage now. Yeah, and this fork here was brutal. Because I removed my defensive structure, right? This nice pawn structure. By removing that, I allowed this check to open up. So this capture comes with check. If it didn't come with check, then I would have time to grab with check and put the pressure back on my opponent. But at this point in time, I mean, look at this. Look at this. Wow. Yeah. Just not. I had nothing. Could have resigned. Oh well. That's how it goes, guys. That's how it goes. Yeah, I mean, minus 14. Yeah, there's yeah, and I can't believe I just threw the rook away. Oh well, it happens. You know, you start hearing footsteps and like someone sneaking up on you, and you give in and you cave. That's what happened here. So oh well, it happens. I'm gonna hang this one up, and I'm gonna go look for another game. Try to get another one in. I need to recognize when there is no threat of checkmate. I mean, to go from a +5, +4 to losing in such outright fashion, I feel frustrated. Like, I heard these footsteps, and I didn't even think about that this comes with, there's the fork. I have to see those knight forks. Have to. Knight forks kill me all the time. Knight forks kill me. And you saw how missing a knight fork absolutely changed the game for the worse for me. And then allowing a knight fork down here at the end, or wherever it was, down here at the end, absolutely destroyed me. So, knight forks, they get you every time. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm going to try to grab another one. Bye.